And it's time to go live from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. I'm Ramon Scott. Welcome to the morning steam for Monday, October the 16th. We've got Major League Baseball playoffs, we've got Monday Night Football, we've got NHL card tonight, and I'll preview college football already. It's Monday, and I've got 6 plays I'm ready to go live with here on the morning steam and get you ready for another week of action. How to go for everyone yesterday on our NFL betting Sunday. And of course, the American League Championship Series underway yesterday as well. Uh, Not much scoring. What did you guys have? What did you guys think? And we'll get ready for another week of programming here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Get you started. Hello to a few of you in the chat and a few of you rolling in here. Hello to Blake. And hello to Sincere Gifted. Astros went under easily yesterday. Yes, we started that series. Interesting to note, you know, in that stadium, they try to make it a little louder in there. Roof gets close, I don't know, but the ball was falling short in the warning track there yesterday for the most part in game one, and we turned it into a pitcher's duel. So, how are we going to look today? They're coming back with a day game in the major leagues, right? Day game after a night game in a way. You know, boy, we'll take a day off here, but we'll run it back with, short notice and a playoff. Not short notice. I mean, this is the way it's scheduled. They've done this way a bunch of times. They've done it this way a bunch of times. So we also might take a look at. We will just at least go over the NBA preseason schedule. I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. We've had some winners. We've had some okay plays on the show, but everything's going to be, I think, just free plays at this point as we get ready. And we'll go over to Tony'sPicks.com. I just saw some alerts come in. Want to take some notes here as we get ready to roll. And talk a little Monday Night Football with, hey, my Chargers are on Monday Night Football. Well, I get to talk about something. One of my teams hanging in there doing something. We'll see. Chargers hosting the Cowboys tonight. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and wait maybe for a few more people to come in here on a Monday. I don't want to get started too soon. Can't get started too soon. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and see how the crew did on Sunday. Ben Ruhala, take a look at this. High volume, but, now that we're offering props here on the site, you're going to see some increased volume, and Ben came in pretty heavy yesterday with some props, and, well, quite frankly, it paid off. I mean, look at some of these numbers here. You take a look at what Ben did, and he had 21 wins and 14 losses on Sunday for Ben. Big numbers there. Hey, I was right there. Ben, you see there, 60%. Hey, I've been saying, look, I'm hitting, close to 67% in the NFL this year. Hey, that's hard to do. It's hard to do in any sport, especially when you're talking 110s. But we're, several weeks in now. Hello to Thomas. Hello to Gerardo. Caught me in the middle of my commercial, guys. But I did it again. I went 8-4 in premiums. There was some other action in there as well. A baseball game and a hockey game I won as well. But another basically 67% day for me as I keep my, pretty decent roll going here of late. Hollywood Sam, 70% yesterday for plus 363 from our crew. Pravi, Samba, Murdy, 10 wins, 6 losses. Bella just on the team this week and turned in another good performance. So the ladies represent. I don't think you're going to find any other site out there now, now that we have Bella on the network, any of these multi-capper sites with 3 females. I'll just say it. And, in this industry, it's a uh, pleasant to have. So good job, Bella. Good job, Joseph Schultz. Once again, like I said, keep an eye on Joseph right now. He's pretty much destroying, and he went 4-1 here again yesterday. Very high percentage selective plays from Joe Schultz. Daniel Wolasachuk 5-3. Nick Lagaretos won his only play on NFL Sunday. Chauncey Giles turning in good numbers again here as one of our new cappers. He went 2-1. Over the last 7 days, there you see it. Joseph Schultz, I said it. He's been hot, putting up very strong numbers here. 75% over the last week. Ben Ruhala, he's up a dime over the last week. Chauncey Giles, also clicking in pretty high percentage here of late since joining the crew. Up nearly 6 units over the past week. Nick Lagaretos, 64% here, crushing. And I'm on the handicapper leaderboards for the last week right there, plus 439 over the last 30 days. Well, Hollywood Sam has supplanted me at the top of the 30-day leaderboard. Great run by Sam. We've been talking about it, and now he's moved to the top of the board, plus 29.25 units over the last 30 days. That'll absolutely destroy. And great job, Sam. I'm right there. Last 30 days, up 2683. Ben Ruhala. Holla with 1743. Joseph Schultz been hot since joining the site, and so has Chauncey Giles since joining the network here. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com today. It's a good day for action, even though we're Monday now and no regular season baseball. We still have the 2 baseball games. Like I said, we have 5 on the ice and Monday Night Football. 6 in the NBA. Not ready to roll on premium land yet. I think you're going to get everything I got here right here on the show today. So check out the Premium Picks tab. There you'll find our handicapper leaderboards. You'll also find our crew with their plays lined up. 3-packs, 5-packs, 7-packs, all profit guaranteed. Packages from our handicappers must show a profit or you'll get credits back to your Tony's Picks account to use with the same handicapper or another handicapper. If you want to go another direction, you always have a winning experience with the cappers at Tony'sPicks.com. Nick Bartini, 3-pack tonight. Ben Ruhala, 3-pack as well. $15 picks from the crew. Daniel Wolasachuk has his $15 play today, and so does Nick Bartini in the major leagues. And best bets from the crew, including Ben, he's got his in the NFL. Bella's got her best bet in the NFL, and so does Tony T in tonight's Chargers game. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages. I'm going to give you, hopefully, some more free winners here in just a moment, as we do every day here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 40,000 subscriber powerhouse. But if you want our best plays, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Get our premium picks from our team of handicappers every day here at the site. Okay. Appreciate you tolerating that. Maybe we got some more comments rolling in. Let's say hello to Ferner. He's ready to roll today on it. Doubles is here today. And Mike welcomes us and he says, what was, let's see, the 22nd question was the second quarter. Okay. The second quarter was the turning point for the Eagles. Yesterday, he said. And Werner had the Jets in the first quarter. Hello to Nathan today. Gonna get rolling on the show, I guess. Start to get some previews going. Just maybe I can prop up a little bit here from yesterday's results with my premium winners. Just let you know what's going on with me with those. I guess I touted my winners over there, the 8-4 day to keep my winning streak going a little bit. I think it was a good weekend overall. Yesterday, premium pick winners for me: Ravens, Titans, under. Oh, can I do a bet? Can I? Anybody taking bad beat? I don't know. I'm not a bad beat complainer, but I was trying to have a month today. And Commanders Falcons over. Hey, here's the thing. All three of my NFL losses, Mr. Under here went over and lost all three. So why is Mr. Under picking some overs? Anyway, it's still a decent day. But Commanders Falcons over, and got left holding the key on that one. Falcons with every opportunity in the world there in the fourth quarter to score. I guess they held the ball for like 13 minutes. And I think they even put it in Washington territory 3 times and got close. Even went all the way down there and couldn't get in. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you. I'm getting a new computer here to help out that, and I'm using a different computer, and I keep putting my notes under the computer, and I'm making that noise. They told me about it, and I keep forgetting that. So thank you for saying that. You're the co-host at this point, Mike, here with your notes. So I gotta stop putting the notes under there. Thank you for catching that. They told me about it and everything. Also, premium pick winner, Vikings Bears under for me. Seahawks Bengals under was a premium winner for me. And also Saints Texans under was a premium winner for me yesterday, as was Cardinals Rams under premium winner. Eagles Jets under premium winner. You're noticing a theme here? Texas Houston under premium winner. And they couldn't all be unders. Hurricanes Ducks over premium winner here for me yesterday. 8 winners, and I'm going to win again tonight. I like this card. I like this college football. I hope it doesn't turn too many people off here to get going on a Monday, but I'm going to put out 6 winners here, hopefully, on the show, and try to get ahead of some of these moves, right? All we can do is give out the play as early as we can to beat these numbers, and that's what we'll do. But I want to get started with the show. Say hello to everybody. Yeah, Ferner, if it's an under day, I'm gonna have a good day, right? Still trying to figure out how I ended up on some overs. Okay, let's get started, and we're gonna start with Major League Baseball. I hope that's okay with everybody. I just think that even with my Chargers tonight playing, and it's Monday night, but there is a day game in the major leagues in the playoffs. We go here to game 2 with the Rangers leading 1-0 after last night's exciting win, no doubt about it. I think our preview yesterday was right on, right, with the quality starting pitching of Montgomery, of Verlander. Yeah, did Verlander have an issue there and lost, and the Rangers won the game? Yeah. He got out of it, but, the damage was done. And still, pitched well, pitched late into pretty late into the game. And the Rangers did the job with great pitching this time. So great job here by the Rangers right now. They are in command of the series on the road. This is thrilling. They're 6-0 in the playoffs so far. It's been terrific. Eovaldi, he's been terrific as well in the playoffs. He's been part of this situation. He's got a 1.32 ERA in his playoff starts. He's 2-0. Doubles is ready to go, though, and he says tonight, coming back here on the Astros for doubles. Hello to Steven today. Nice to have you folks with me here. First on YouTube, every day with live previews here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Hey, Tone Miggins here, bringing us some props. I believe this is over total bases here for Tone. And over for Turner's hits. That's all we do, right, Tone? We don't ever go under in these props. I mean, that's boring. Steven says, give me the Astros here on the money. Oh, my gosh, on the Astros plus 1.5 and sprinkle the money line, he says. Let me take a look at that run line price. And then while I'm at it, might as well make sure the line is right. I think I put this one. I think this was the line. There has been some reported steam on this game, and it's on the over, actually. And that's why we're seeing it right now. Do I have it at 8.5? It is pretty heavily juiced to the under, and I want to update that actually because of it's so. And maybe the Astros are down to $1.20 or so at some spots. Maybe are the Rangers taking a little action? But let me update this to at least 8.5 under 20, if not 8.5 under 25 right now, as this one continues to move lower. And I think it's interesting because there's no doubt the reported steam came in on the over, and it wasn't too long ago. Let me see when that alert came in from the. Oh, I take that back. It was late last night, but they were steaming an 8 over. Steam play. Some NFL action taking a little bit of steam right now for next week. Oh, I'm not supposed to. Okay. Let me continue on here with the Rangers and the Astros. They told me not to do that. Okay. All right. Ray says, give me the Rangers here in this one. And Steven wants to take the Yerfie tonight. And there were only 2 runs scored yesterday, right? So when are those runs going to come tonight in the first inning, according to Steven? Rangers bullpen, they needed to get 8 outs last night. Framber Valdez has struggled big time, no doubt about it. 9.88 ERA in his last 3 starts. And the Astros have gone just 4-10 with Valdez in those starts. The Astros still have won 8 of their last 11. They've also won 9 of the 14 games still with Texas, despite what happened yesterday. But for the Rangers and Eovaldi, they've won 6 of Eovaldi's last 7 starts. So, all right, you guys, you saw what happened yesterday. Are you still tempted here? Anything else from the chat? I guess I'll have to make the call here. Let's see, Ray on the ring. I don't know if we can get consensus. Oh, I want to say hello to Cincinnati here today. Nice to have you. And, oh my gosh, Dominic Mitchum. Hello. Says, trouble in Texas, rocket scientist. I don't quite know what something about the baseball series, though. That's what it sounds like to me. Something about the baseball series. So I have concerns about Valdez in this game. I know we were, under yesterday, but I'm bouncing back here with the over today at 8.5 with the day. I do have some concerns a little bit with, you know, the roof, the way the ball was traveling last night, but man, Valdez has been getting crushed. Not necessarily tipping my hat here on the side. We'll be looking at a premium here for the game today for sure. But Blake says, give me the Texas money line here and the over in this one. All right, you guys. M Looks is here today. Texas is rolling. Got to ride with them. The other thing about Eovaldi, uh, look, good in the playoffs so far. Good in the playoffs in his career as well. 6-3 with a 2.7 ERA in 8 playoff starts in his career. For the veteran, right? So, Cinegretti said over 8 runs, the offenses should shine. And over 8 runs, you're going to be looking, like I said, this one's getting kind of back low again. There might be a little bit of wise guy action here. With what I was saying, seeing that last night with the, with the low scoring runs and what they like to do is, increase that noise a little bit. The Astros are always looking for an edge, and they're not the brightest group, right? We saw some mistakes last night, the base running error there and people were arguing a little bit, right? When do you determine? And so I don't know if they were even explaining it right on the air. Hello, the Stephen Beer. He says, who is more surprising, the Diamondbacks or the Rangers? Well, quite honestly, I'd have to say the Diamondbacks, right? I mean, they're the team that, to me, maybe not as polished here. So when Altuve rounded second base, he's on the other side. The dividing point is the halfway, it goes like right up the middle, and he was on the other side of the bag. That's when you've got to come, right? You're always saying, well, when are you touching you touched it once, you got off the bag. Why do you have to touch? Once you leave the bag, if you're going back to first, you got to touch it again. So once you have untouched it, if you want to go back to the other bag. Now if you want to go right back to first base, don't go on the other side of it, right? So you're on the bag. You could run back to first, because when are you going to retouch the bag? But once you've gone touch the bag and then you're on the third base side of that bag, that's when you got to run back. All right. The over for me, my free play here today. And yeah, I've been, I'm always looking under first and just can't go premium with this over just because of the atmospheric concerns I have. But looking to get a little bit of offense going, I think, in the series today. And thanks for your picks on the game as well. That's the day game today. I say day game, 4:37 Eastern, 1:37 Pacific. Great timing, actually, to make a great sports day. And the night game, which could get overshadowed for some, going up against Monday Night Baseball, but this is the postseason after all. We've got a great game one lined up in Philly with Zach Gallen going up against Wheeler here in this one. I'm showing the Phillies $1.60, and we'll update this total because it's moving lower as well. But again, this is another one where I think the steam, for the most part, the widely reported steam came in on the over here as well. Now, that was earlier this morning. I show the significant move came in on this game back at, oh, okay, it was yesterday evening as well. So uh, that one came in at a juiced up 7. And so now we're at 7.5 under here with a great pitching matchup. Zach Gallen, he's got a 2.28 ERA in his last 4 starts, a 3-1 record. Arizona's went 8-4 in Gallen's last 12 starts. 2 playoff starts in Gallen's career, a 3.18 ERA and a 2-0 record. And he's also done very well against the Phillies. He's 3-1 with a 2.22 ERA in 5 career starts. For Wheeler, 3-0 in his last 5 starts with a 3.3 ERA. Now the Phillies are just 7-8 in his last 15 starts, but Wheeler's kind of playoff clutch as well, a 2.59 ERA in 8 playoff starts. Also, good numbers against Arizona, 6-3 with a 2.96 ERA in 11 starts against Arizona. The Phillies have won 13 of their last 17 games overall. And, we know they're kind of playoff tested a little bit after success last season. Arizona, we just talked about it. Who's been more clutch, right? Which team has been more clutch or more surprising? I'm sorry about that. We're Diamondbacks or Rangers. So Diamondbacks 5-0 in the playoffs so far, and well, they've had some road success, obviously. And they've scored averaging 6 runs a game so far in the playoffs. The first, time in half a dozen years they've been to the postseason, and they're having a great run. Here comes some of your plays. And Doubles says the game time just a little bit too early. M. Looks says, take the Phillies any way you can get them. He loves the Phillies here tonight. M. Looks liking the Phillies minus $1.60. M. Looks, and I might be in for a challenge, I'm thinking here, because I'm ready to give my free play, I guess, on the game. Blake's leaning to the Phillies. Doubles says he's going to go plus a run here, it looks like. He'll take plus a run and a half and some money line. Now, the money line just way too, let's see. Oh, it's not, $1.50. I'm going to get behind that. I'm okay with that. It's the playoffs. The run line is not going to get you to the World Series. So I'm on the Arizona Diamondbacks, of course. Anytime I recommend the money line, I'm also recommending the run line. But my official play here, I think, will be I'll go, we want to win. I'm just talked a bunch of junk, like taking them now. I just wanted to kind of make sure we win and take the run line. But hey, it's the postseason. I'll take Arizona. But yeah, we'll take some run line. We might even take some 2.5. We might even take some minus 1.5 a little bit. We're gonna sprinkle it all around on Arizona here. $1.60. No, that's not for me, you guys. Here, I don't mind it. Look, this is a playoff game. This is baseball. If you think if Phillies are your side, because you can get behind either team here. I mean, there's not a lot of maybe stats that are going to turn you on to one team or the other. Here, I tried to give my little bit of reasoning here. Maybe the fact that Gallen, I would want to say a little bit better for him because Wheeler was, terrific also, right? That last start. So, but just too even for me the way Arizona. I mean, throw out some of the inconsistencies because Philly had their share of inconsistency too. Ray says Diamondbacks and under. Reggie says Phillies run line, maybe? How about laying it? Yeah, I just think the price is too high for a playoff game that feels much, much closer than $1.60. Diamondbacks on the run line for Cincinnati. Nitin Cincinnati. I don't know, if you and I say it right, but just like saying it. Doubles says props for Schwarber home run. Harper. Say props. So I think that means he's taking the home run here on these players. And Steven is taking the under in this one. I will say maybe Philly's a little bit. There's no real trends right now as far as the last few games for these teams. Philly's been slightly over of late, so. But my premium plays on the total, so I'm not going to go too much into it. But so far, let's see. I think that's what I think. We'll just wrap it up on the baseball. These teams have had a pretty even series this season. It's 4-3 Phillies. But I will say this, the road team did win 5 of those 7 games this season between these two teams, and Arizona's done a pretty nice job on the road. Stephen will agree with the home run props there for Schwarber and Harper off of Zach Gallen. I was maybe going to take a peek at maybe take a peek here at some of the batting, maybe some of the matchups, some of the batting matchups today to see the home run props. I will say Jose Altuve, I did talk about giving out the over in that game. Altuve, 41 plate appearances against Nathan Eovaldi. He does have 5 home runs and 2 doubles, 10 hits in 41 plate appearances against Nathan Eovaldi. So, including 5 walks, 5 home runs, 3 walks, 3 doubles, 5 singles for Altuve. Good numbers. Also, Bregg's good numbers against Eovaldi. Talked about some of his. I got to get this banner off the screen here so I can talk about the other game. There we go. Beer now talking about these numbers. So maybe just throw a few more in there. But Bregman, 8 hits and 22 plate appearances with a home run against Eovaldi. Also, Yordan Alvarez, 8 hits in just 14 plate appearances against Eovaldi. So these are some pretty good numbers. I mentioned his playoff number. Eovaldi against Houston in his career, 4.42 ERA in 10 starts. He's a veteran that's seen other batters as well, not just obviously the 152 plate appearances for the expected starting lineup. And for the Rangers against Framber, you got Semien, 9 hits and 35 plate appearances and a couple of home runs. But a couple guys with some Adonis Garcia, just 6 hits and 30 plate appearances. Robbie Grossman, 3 hits in 19 plate appearances. Tavares, the weakening hitter, but 8 hits and 24 plate appearances against Framber. And in the nightcap, Trey Turner just 4 hits and 20 appearances against Gallen with 6 strikeouts. Schwarber has a home run against Gallen in 8 plate appearances. Harper, 5 plate appearances, just a double, no home runs. And I don't know if I like her. I could get behind Schwarber, maybe small sample size, but I'm not sure that the situation's great for Harper. against Gallen. For the Diamondbacks against Wheeler, Christian Walker, 9 hits in 17 plate appearances, including 3 doubles and a home run. Pham has a home run off of Wheeler, 5 hits in 15 plate appearances. Marte, a home run against Wheeler. Corbin Carroll so far 0 for 6 against Wheeler. So hopefully give you a few more numbers there. Sure thing, doubles. And hello to Mark Roper here today. All right, that's a look at Major League Baseball. Enjoy the games. All right, my quote unquote San Diego Chargers. I'm still working on using all of my fortune from sports betting and touting. That's why we have to do both, because how am I going to buy the Chargers if I'm just betting and move them back to San Diego? Tonight's a big night here for the Chargers. I think this spread, I had this typed in from a few days ago, so let me update that because I'm pretty sure we're at least down to 2, aren't we? If not 1.5 at some spots at this point. Yeah, 1.5, and maybe the Cowboys are juiced up here a little bit. So, but I'm going to change it to 1.5. That gives you any clue where I'm going with my free play here on the show. My show play. It's not free. You have to invest your time here with me. Yeah, doubles not liking the old no fun league. Can't use a prop. All right, the Chargers tonight against the Cowboys, 1.5 total here, 51. It definitely opened 47.5 on a look ahead, but I think just the way that, Herbert, the Chargers are still, they're averaging, 400 yards a game, 28 points. So they've got a great offense. And people, hot and cold on Brandon Staley. It seems like, well, I don't know. I think people are more cold than hot, but I have questions about game management, right? With Brandon, why yeah, the Chargers have some good defensive players, so why are we getting into why do we end up in sometimes I say we I'm talking I sound like some of the some of the guys around, but why are the Chargers ending up in some of these wild games here with things going, kind of back and forth, and uh, well, because they're suspect, and maybe they're not, you know, clock management right when they're getting close, when they're getting some leads, and yeah, when you're, chucking the ball like it's circa 1978 for the Chargers, and you're going to leave your defense on the field maybe too long sometimes, and that can be a problem as well. Dallas, they've had 3 very impressive wins, but they've also had a couple of games where they didn't look too great offensively in those 2 losses, and they did give up some rushing yards in those 2 games. And the big news in this game certainly would be the return of the Chargers do everything back, Austin Eckler. It does seem like this guy's a big difference maker. Yeah, they can get by without him to a certain extent because you have a guy like Herbert. But when you have Eckler, it's not some flash in the pan. This guy continues to have, uh, whenever he's in, strong performances. He misses a lot of games. All right, here comes some picks already. Steven says he's taking the Chargers and under, and he's surprised the Chargers are not favored. Yeah, well, yeah, and we're looking kind of close to at least a pick 'em here, right? With a Dallas team that's favored here. I think it's just that Dallas has been so impressive in those wins. I mean, if you add them all up, the 3 wins are combined 108-13 in those victories, and the Chargers, like I said, they're averaging massive points. Their point totals on the log at 34, 24, 28, 24. But what is the problem with this team on third down? I mean, there's my concern. Under 51 for Cincinnati, under one more game, right? And that's what I was saying on one of the show. I don't want my picks to be boring, but I do want them to win. So I hope and I'm so thankful too. I don't know if I've seen any subscribers. None of you guys ever say it, and I know it's hard to, sometimes you don't want to admit you're buying picks too, but just thank you sincerely, especially, with I'm seeing some really strong sales of late on here. Just talking about it honestly. And let me see here. Can't believe he's backing the Cowboys. Blake is going to be on the Cowboys. Thomas is on the over. Hello to Thomas today. My number one guy, T. Lewis. So just for me, I think, with Eckler back, it just makes, to me, a big deal for the Chargers. I mean, to me, it is kind of the difference maker in the game. There's a lot of reason to think, right? I know what you're saying, that you're maybe surprised the Chargers aren't favorite. I don't know. I think Bosa will be in there. That's always key. I mean, he is questionable tonight, and he is kind of a difference maker to a certain extent, where you were on, and the Chargers do have some other key injuries, certainly. Palmer, questionable with a groin injury. Derwin James continues to be out right now. And for the Cowboys, we know they have some, two big injuries right now. Of course, Diggs, but also now, Van Der Esch has gone to the injured list with a neck injury, and hopefully, hoping for him to be okay. And you always worry about but we saw the injury, right? It could just probably a sprain, but uh, those are two key injuries. So, and not to mention, Goodwin also out, but out for the season now. So I'm going to be on the Chargers here. You got my Chargers. Steven's giving you Eckler over 48 rushing yards. Let me see if I can at least give out my prop players here. Hey, if it was a standalone game, I'm ready to come in with some props, but I don't want to weigh down on such an attractive card here today. And, I'm going to be on premiums in both baseball games and also the football game, and probably a little bit of hockey. Maybe just a couple of them, though. I do like this hockey card. I think we're going to tear it up. All right. A few more notes here, just with the Chargers and the Cowboys, kind of fill my commitment here with the show. Chargers always good in these non-conference games. 8-4, 8-4-3 ATS. How do you get three pushes in there like that? Chargers 13 touchdowns on 41 drives, but they've allowed 12 touchdowns on 42 drives. And mention the defense for the Chargers. When they win, they've been holding teams pretty strong on key plays, and I think against a team like Dallas, I don't know. I appreciate you guys. And look, the totals, like I said, it's gone up. There's no doubt. It opened, the look ahead was 47.5. Yeah, Chargers seem to give it up. They seem to, be the one team that kind of gets involved in these shootouts a little bit. Ferner says he's got Dak for an INT tonight, and so does Steven. Interesting that those guys came up with the same prop right at the same time, and Dak to get the the INT. So, all right, big game also for Kellen Moore might be a little bit of a storyline. Coaches don't get a lot of the spotlight when on the previews and anything, but obviously the Cowboys fired Kellen Moore. We know the Cowboys have, you know, not a great, good. They have Dak, they have weapons, they have good offense, but we know why Moore was kind of the frustration maybe that uh, jury had last year, and now on the Chargers here. So all right, Dallas 9-1 against the spread off of a loss in their last 10 games, but I'm gonna be on the Chargers tonight. Uh, Probably be and here's the thing I think for me, live betting preview if you want. Steven says Prescott over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Hey, Demetrius Crandall, nice to see you as well. How have you been? He says Chargers first half, Dallas for the game. And here I would almost like sometimes I kind of even I don't want to lose any viewers or say, and like I would say, Demetrius, that's awful. Why would anybody ever do that? That's a tough handicap. If anything, maybe there'd be a prop in there, right, where you should get credit when you do something like that. But in this case, with the Chargers, I have no problem at least even making that type of prediction. In fact, I would say that this might be a great game for live betting where, you know, like I said, a lot of money is earned away from premium picks to a certain extent, right? You got to do your own mixing it up. And it feels like in this game, you're just going to, whoever's winning at halftime, you want to go the other way in the second half. And especially if one team gets a big lead in this game, you're going to want to get on the other team at a price and watch them come back because that's the Chargers. It does start with the letter CH a little bit, and I've been living it with it my whole life. Stephen Beer says, "Let's get charging," and of course, what the kind of saying is in Charger land, and even nationally they kind of say it. And there are other teams that have this stupid little saying, but like, and I'm sure that Doubles can appreciate it, and Scotch when he's here. Chargers, Cubs gonna cub, Chargers gonna charge, right? When the choking time comes, that's Charger time. So, but Herbert, he's clutch. He's clutch, right? Hello to Darren. Great to see you today. But honestly, right? You think of all the quarterbacks in this league, even the top quarterbacks right now in the game, with Mahomes, you're going to take him, right? You need a drive. You are standing at your own 10, 20-yard line with a minute to go in the game. There aren't many quarterbacks. Yeah, there are. And even some of these good quarterbacks that we talk about nowadays, right? They're good quarterbacks, but you know what? They might not be the guy you want you need to go down the field in 1 minute. Justin Herbert is a guy that you want in that role. Right? Even look, you'll take Jalen Hurts, of course, but if you said I need to get down the field in 30 seconds, you'd take Justin Herbert over like a Jalen Hurts, right? Probably not over Mahomes, but you probably, given the ability, you'd probably just have him right there, almost 50-50. The Chargers have a superstar, one of the most unheralded superstars in their quarterback, in Justin Herbert. Maybe the most overlooked star in the league, really. And so maybe a chance to shine tonight against a popular team. That's my play is on my Chargers. What's funny? You mentioned I don't. Who said it again? The Chargers should be favored. You know what? If the Chargers are favored, I might be on the Cowboys in this one. Actually, the way That's the way the Chargers are. So give me the Chargers tonight. Yeah, I don't know doubles. I'm not saying like Cubs going to Cub like that, if that's what you're saying. But I'm just saying when the Cubs moments, right? Um, what other team? They say, "Oh, Cubs going to Cub," when the Cubs eventually let you down. And they say, "Oh, Cubs going to Cub," and that's what they are saying. Like the national media says, Chargers going to charge when they blow that lead with some stupid play with 20 seconds left and the other team's running into the end zone on some bizarre play or massive comeback. I am taking my Chargers tonight, and I am not the homer guy. I probably look. We did it with my other team all season long. We faded the Padres, and there are plenty of spots to fade this Charger team. I believe I'm going to wrap it up here, but I've got to get at least a few complaints out about the Spanoses and the direction of the team always. I mean, there's just no way this team will ever get anything done. They'll find a way to lose. Not tonight. I'm taking them. And probably just because they're a dogs. They got Justin Herbert. They've got the talented receivers, and they've got Austin Eckler. It's all can work out. Darren says, I don't need to be Darren, so I think tonight I don't need to be. I've got Justin Herbert. And if it comes down to the end, we might need to go the length of the field. We might need that field goal tonight in this one. But I've got Justin Herbert. That's mostly what I think I'm confident in. No, because I'm never really I'm never comfortable right now with the defense. And certainly having Bosa on that injured list tonight, that is probably my top concern. I think he is a player that you do want and need to have in there. You need an impact defensive player that can make the big play at the key moment. I mean, look how bad the Raiders are, but they still have, Max Crosby's made the two biggest plays over the last couple of games, right? You still need that one guy. Amazing, defensive players can be such big impact players sometimes. The Chargers have one in Joey Bosa. No doubt about it. But, yeah, they've got all kinds of other issues. So, but Cowboys would need, they're going to need balance and all that. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the game tonight. I want to get to the ice and talk a little bit of hockey on this card here, 5-game card. One a little bit more football here. Darren, I think maybe the number just too high for it. And don't, I'm trying to make these as fast as possible, but I want to talk to you guys and get all that information out. Look, no one needs to tell me, right, Darren, about to these unders. I mean, no doubt. Who leads the under parade, week after week? I'm in here representing Team Under every day, every night. And it's not fun to just, blindly bet the under. But right now, look at the NFL right now. You could do worse. You'd be hitting 60% if you just hit the under button every time. You wouldn't need to even handicap a game. You could just sit there and, max play the under. We sit here and bang our head every week right now, 60% under. In primetime unders, no doubt. And we saw it again, saw it again last night, even when I tried to go over totally, misreading the game there a little bit with what the Giants needed to do. And, maybe it could have spiraled out of control and the Buffalo Bills could have went off on them, but they didn't. The Giants did a great job. And I thought Ty God was going to be the best solution for him, right? Ty God didn't make the mistakes. Yeah, he made one big mistake, no doubt about it. But that comes with, I think with Ty not playing that much of late, right? I mean, he totally flubbed that situation up at the end of the first half. There's no doubt. And your coach is going to be mad at you. But he's going to tell you he's proud of you too at the end when you won, when you played well in that game. I take it, Bills still got the win, but uh, you know, is Taylor any worse than Daniel Jones? I don't know. All right. Chargers it is. Let's move on. But primetime unders, don't forget, Monday night unders, all that. It's still in total effect. So far, Monday night games, 1-6 to the under. The average score is 35.8 points. You got the Chargers and the Cowboys, though, here tonight. Chargers they're gonna give up, they're gonna give up some stuff. It feels like to me, but again, totally inflated, no doubt about it. If you are looking for the value side is the under. I'm not saying the pick is the under. The pick is the Chargers and all that, but and under is going to be a value side a lot of times, but this time it does look a little bit more significant. Anyways, primetime unders just absolutely destroying so far this season right now. I think 6-13. I want to say, just going off the top of my head there, but it's at least 67. It's at least 6-12, if not 6-13 now for the season. We're going to roll over to the National Hockey League tonight. And I feel like we're already hitting the stride a little bit in the NHL. Maybe we threw a couple of clunkers in early. Maybe, I need those data points. Maybe I should sit out. I'm never going to sit out the start of the season, but got that win yesterday. Even on the show, we said, we took Anaheim over Carolina on the show yesterday on the puck line, but still, whatever it was, remember they were plus 250 or whatever they were on the money line. So, and the Ducks got off to a 3-0 lead. The thing was, for whatever, you got to pick up your wins somewhere, even if you're the Anaheim Ducks. So you're looking for spots with the Ducks, and welcome to everybody here in the live chat. Great to have all of you here on the morning steam. We're rolling here with the NHL. So the Ducks get off to a 3-0 lead in the first period. The problem is when the way the schedule works out, right? When the Hurricanes come in, usually they're going to come through Southern California and play both teams. Now, sometimes they've had a night off, sometimes they didn't. Last night was a back-to-back, and they gave up 3 goals in the first period. So Anaheim was live. Anaheim got it done. And maybe there was a little bit of a sweat there because it was still 3-0 or so. Past midway of the second period, no more goals had scored, but you still have a Carolina team that can be pretty explosive. I mean, if you're Carolina, considering what you did last year, probably shouldn't be losing this game, but it's been a death trap for Carolina to go into Anaheim for whatever reason, because maybe you think of, and remember they beat the Kings. Remember it was a wild game, 6-5 the night before. It was a comeback. Remember it was 5-3, whatever it was, and coming back to win. And then they have to do the same thing kind of every time they play the Southern California set. And for whatever reason, like I said, Anaheim, they've been pretty bad now for several years, I guess, right? Way off their glory days, and if you can call them that. So when the Panthers come in, or the Hurricanes come in, and they play those 2 games against the LA teams, they never do well against Anaheim. They almost always lose that game to Anaheim, no matter what. And Carolina, maybe they weren't always this good of late, but again, they got caught in a total trap. We had the over as a premium, and then that under. Okay, and here, so darn it, I'm not supposed to talk other games. Okay, Panthers and Devils. Thank you, Ferner. Like and smash. Subscribe to our channel, the 40,000 subscriber powerhouse. All right. Interesting to note that all the games today are at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific here. So let's get some winners in this one with the Panthers and the Devils. Let me bring up the current odds, make sure we're giving out the best line or the worst line, like I like to do. You got the Devils here, pretty big favorite tonight for sure. Let me get that line right there. I'll call it minus $1.80 anyways. Let me at least put the minus on there with Vanasek. We'll see. Let me also look at the goalies. Make sure we got that one right. All right. There we go. Okay. Bobrovsky coming in here. Vanasek, no, both these goalies are uh, unconfirmed at this point. We do have a couple of goalies that are confirmed for tonight's action, but I think for me here in this matchup at $1.80, uh, that's a high price. I do like the Devils here for sure in this game. I think right now the way things are starting out this season uh, feels like a pretty solid spot actually for the Devils. I'm gonna end up probably lay the puck line here in this one with New Jersey tonight. Yeah, we could be safe. We could take them on the money line, just get in and get out. But I feel like this will be a confident, good victory tonight here for the Devils over the Panthers. See if you guys are interested in any NHL tonight. Just taking a look, currently where the two teams stand in this one. Of course, you got Florida so far. I mean, they are 0-2, so now, and we're still on the road here to start the season. That's where they've been so far on their first two games. So New Jersey played them both at home so far with uh, a victory. They got the victory, of course. Their one loss was in overtime. Was it overtime or a shootout? I'm having to go off my memory here in this one, but it was a win. That's right. It was a win, right? So they come in with that victory over Arizona 4-3, right? And then the win over Detroit, the loss to Arizona. Got it. Okay. Man, I need my third computer here to get all my notes together. But I like the Devils here tonight. Ray says, give me the Devils on the puck line. Yeah, they failed the puck line in both so far, so that certainly is a concern of mine. But Florida also has lost against the puck line so far. Florida off to really kind of a miserable start at this point with 2-goal losses to both Winnipeg and Minnesota on the road. So now we got a game here on this trip in New Jersey, and I'm going to take them here in this one. Florida does pretty well in this series. They've kind of, been pretty solid. Of course, let's see. Last meeting here was a 4-2 win last December. Florida won it 4-2. And in fact, the final score of the last three meetings between these two teams has been 4-2. Two of them were won by Florida, and one of them by New Jersey. So we could be safe, but at $1.80, I'm willing to lay some puck line. I'll probably split it up. I'm like that. Take some 1.5, take some money line, call it -1, and take the Devils tonight as my play in this one. Got the Red Wings taking on the Blue Jackets on Monday. It looks like, let me fix that there. graphic there. In this one, you got the Red Wings road favorite, it looks like right now. Let's make sure of that line at $1.15 or so against the Blue Jackets. Of course, Detroit comes in with a 1-1 record so far. And the Blue Jackets come in also at 1-1. Blue Jackets have been at home for both games so far this season, while Detroit's played one at home and one on the road. I'm showing the Red Wings are up to at least $1.20 right now, if not even a little bit higher. So a little bit of move here, I would say, on the Red Wings thus far. We did see, let's see, man, I did see one number as high as $1.30 here currently in the market at Bovada. So looks like the Red Wings are taking a little bit of action here in this one on the road. So I'm not seeing too much sharp action yet, which for me, I kind of want to just a straight look here. Let's see. Man, I was hoping to get some. Maybe I'm hoping for some consensus here in this one. Maybe there's a little bit of value here with Detroit, but I guess I probably just want to take the Blue Jackets as a home dog at even money or so. This one feels so close to me, and I don't know if I want to trust Detroit on the road necessarily at this point. I mean, Detroit's they lost that road. They lost at New Jersey 4-3. So I know New Jersey looking pretty okay so far, certainly, but oh man, this is my toughest game right here. If I had the confidence meter, it's not registering necessarily in this one, but all right. Columbus won on the road at Detroit back in January 4-3. And Detroit clubbed them a couple of other times before that. So this one registers tough for me. I'm just going to take the Blue Jackets at even money. I'm not liking this one too much. Ray says, give me the Red Wings on the money line. Okay, let's do a little challenge, Ray. I'll take the Blue Jackets today. I'll even take them at even money. I know we can get a little bit of plus money here, and maybe that's what I'm interested in with the Blue Jackets today. All right. Let's see. Columbus, a 5-3 win over the Rangers 2 nights ago at home. That was their home win, but their loss was at Philly. They lost at Philly 4-2. Give me Columbus. They lost at Philly. Give me Columbus. The Arizona Coyotes on the road against the New York Rangers. Connor Ingram here looks like for the Coyotes, and Igor Shesterkin for the Rangers. Ingram is definitely in there, according to the beat writers. He will be in goal in this one for his first start of the season. Shesterkin, not confirmed yet. He's 1-1 so far with a 3.08 goals against in a couple of starts and a 87% save percentage. Man, I'm really struggling with those graphics right there. It is definitely 220. Let's see what we got for the current line. Rangers maybe down to 210 or so, and a 6.5 over 15 looks fair. Arizona comes in with a road win so far. Rangers 1-1 thus far. Both games were on the road for the Rangers. They had 4-1 win. Right? Let's see. It was no 5-1 win against Buffalo in the opener on the road, and then of course they lost at Columbus 5-3 in the next game. And Arizona started that season off with that 4-3 win against New Jersey. Of course, we had the Coyotes in that game. We talked about the Coyotes. Now, look, I don't want everybody to run to the window and think that we're, have the Coyotes making the playoffs or anything like that. But there are certainly plenty of analysts out there that are, have the Coyotes improving this year. I thought they looked pretty decent in that opener to get the road win. We were on them in that game. And we'll see as far as the Rangers are concerned right now with splitting those first two games. But, they've owned this series of late. Well, they've won 4 straight meetings and won them both last year. They won the home game last year against the Coyotes 4-1. And that was about a year, that was about a year to the day. It was October no, I take that back. Let me see here. I'm going to call it up now. It was, it was on October the 30th of last year, or November the 13th of last year. Arizona won 4-1 at home. They also won in Arizona 3-2. So a little bit tough, when Arizona on the road here. And man, for me, I'm gonna be, I'm sure, on the Rangers. Look, I know I was on the Coyotes in the first game, and I want to see, with Connor Ingram in there, but no, I'm gonna I'll lay 1.5 goals in this one. I'm gonna lay another puck line. I'm gonna take the Rangers here in this one. Got some plays from you guys? No. Minus 1.5 at even money. That works for me. I'm sure the Rangers can, take this one. If Arizona wins 2 road games now, then we'll really start to say, hey, maybe these experts are right. Maybe I'm right. Like I said, I'm with them. I'm on the Arizona's improved bandwagon a little bit. Remember, they're in there. They got Chicago right there at the bottom of the division with them. So Chicago's going to start moving up, even though things have been a little bit sketchy of late. We're going to talk about Chicago in a few moments. But for me, I'll take the Rangers. Coyotes coming off a win. Give me the Rangers tonight on the puck line. Get it done against Coyotes. Man, what was I? I think I'm having a problem with the parentheses key here. All right. Flames on the road, $1.25, maybe even $1.30 now. Total 6.5 over 15. So I don't know. Looks like a little bit of move here on the Calgary Flames in this one against Washington. And, I don't know. It might be easy to see why. I would think Calgary is in good position to win this game. I'm going to probably be on them here as my free play. I think Calgary offensively can have a strong night here against the Capitals. That's really what it feels like to me. I have some concerns about Washington in this game. Now, I'm not saying it's all based on that season opening game, and we've already seen Calgary twice. They have went over in both games. Calgary, they got rocked by Pittsburgh here on this road trip already in the last game, 5-2, but they beat Winnipeg 5-3. So I expect some goals here, and I'm not sure I'm very confident right now in the Caps moving forward this season, maybe. This has been a tough place for Calgary in the past on this trip, and they haven't played very well in the past against Washington. It is a series where they just see each other, twice a year. But I'm going to take the Flames. I mean, if they're favored for a reason, it feels like to me. That old philosophy a little bit. And Washington, of course, looked pretty dismal in that opening game against Pittsburgh, losing 4-0 at home. That left fans wondering what's going on right now with the Capitals to start the season. Looks like some plays here from you guys talking about some other games. Appreciate that. But for me, I'm strong on the total. I'm sure you guys got the gist of what I was saying there. If I said I got a couple premiums tonight, I think this is gonna be one of them. But I've got Calgary to win this game tonight. There could be some volatility in the side. You look at the line. It's a closely rated game, but Calgary favored in this one on the road, and if anything, it looks like it's going a little bit higher. I don't know if it's sharp. There was some widely reported steam came in on Calgary. When did that come in? It was I think it was either when we were just getting the show started, this line started to move. It was, just 10 minutes before the show, some big-time action came in on Calgary.
Steam play.
It was a steam play. So I'm going to take the Flames here, though, in this one. I'm going to chase that. I'm chasing the steam here. Steam chaser Ramon going to come in here with Calgary today on the road. And we're on a road trip. No doubt about it. Let's see what this goalie situation is here with Markstrom and Darcy Kemper. All right. No confirmed goalies just yet in this one, but I'm sure that feels like this will be the matchup. We'll see. Nonetheless, Calgary favored here on the road. That's who I'm going to end up going with after that dismal effort by Washington to start the season. Could they bounce back? I guess they should, and they could. But I don't know. I'm not saying I'm totally high on Calgary, but the action's on Calgary here, it looks like, from Sharps, and I'm gonna be on them on my free play here. One more on the ice tonight. We'll get some football plays in for Saturday to wrap up the show. And I've got the Blackhawks here on the road against the Leafs. Joseph Woll is definitely confirmed by the beat writers. It looks like to be in goal here. Maybe it's going to be Mrazek for Chicago in this one. And look at this line. Hello. Is it April already? Toronto minus 325. And we have concerns right already with Chicago. Okay, the first game was fine. Chicago, they're making these guys play all these games right out of the gate on the road here. This is already going to be the fourth game for the Blackhawks so far, all on the road with Connor. That kind of sucks. putting them out there on the road to start the season. All three games have gone under so far for the for the Blackhawks. Leafs have gone over in both games thus far, but uh, yeah, we're not seeing maybe the increased offense from the Black. Yeah, I think maybe we are. I don't know. They scored 2 goals
Speed
uh,
play.
in the loss to Montreal. They scored 3 goals or scored the 1 goal in the loss to Boston after opening the season with that 4-2 victory against Pittsburgh. Now, so a little bit of stamina issues or whatnot for where the Blackhawks are at, making them start on the road like this currently. And it does feel like they're, like I said, I'm kind of pro Blackhawks at this point. I think there will be improvement. I'm actually disappointed the way they haven't been able to get another victory just yet, but I think we're gonna have to get them home here, get a little momentum kind of going right now. I would think so. This series usually isn't over. They've gone over in 5 straight meetings in Toronto. They've gone over in 7 of the last 8, and interestingly, Blackhawks have done well in this series of late, but it's also kind of a home dominated series. And man, that price 325, it does feel a little bit high. I mean, I would never go with a premium here, but I'm probably going to try the Leafs. I'm going to be I'm on 3 puck lines on the show. This can't be good after kind of turning things around here quickly with my hockey picks in the premium category. But you'll get some puck lines on the show certainly, I guess. And I'm gonna take the Leafs. It doesn't feel totally comfortable here, but especially because I think maybe, just maybe, uh, the here's Doubles, our Chicago correspondent. Let me get his comments here on this one. He's got the Blackhawks here hanging in there. Yeah, probably overvalued. Yeah, I'm sure of it. But just feels like you're making these guys play all these road games right now. And the Blackhawks just aren't ready to, kind of. Maybe this is one maybe they'll suck it up and and come out with another strong game. Obviously, burying the lead here with Austin Matthews, hottest player in the league by far right now. With why why didn't I start the art? Why didn't I start the video just saying off Austin Matthews 10 times? I could have done worse than that. And that's why they've gone over in both games. I mean, he does hat tricks in both games. What did they say? Some kind of marker hasn't been done in forever. But 2 games, 2 hat tricks for Austin Matthews, a 6-5 win over my Habs in a shootout, and the 7-4 win over the Wild. Uh, both games here in Toronto. Rays on the Blackhawks here. Darren wants to lean on the over. And no, I'm all about it, Doubles. Believe me, I'm all about Bedard. It's just that the problems we're so deeply rooted in Chicago that it's just, I believe the culture change will take more time with the Blackhawks than maybe with some other franchises currently. I don't know if you were here when we talked about the season opener, and I was on Chicago and talked about how, look, it was just several years ago now, but remember, we won that Stanley Cup. I say we because I'm talking to Doubles, but remember when the Blackhawks won that Stanley Cup, and to be as miserable as it's been the last few years, this is great momentum. This is a lot of excitement. But to send these guys on the road right now, 4 straight games like this, it does feel a little bit unfair. And I think like I said, maybe, this line sucks. 325. I don't know, but I just feel like it's a terrible spot. There's nothing I could do about the line, and even my gut instinct to say, you got to take the Blackhawks here just feels like this is an overwhelming situation for Chicago right now. You can't even beat Montreal on the, you lost. Well, it was a 1-goal game, so. But this is Toronto now, so 4-2 seems, I don't feels like Toronto, the way they're scoring goals, it might be, maybe it can go over in this one, but I don't know. 4-2 seems most likely to me. 4-2. I mean, Toronto can't score 6 or 7 goals every time, can they? Even against the Blackhawks, and it's going to be slow going. It feels like now all of a sudden for the Blackhawks, but I'm all about the turnaround. I'm all about the change. I'm all about the, I think the kid is upstanding. I think he, there's no doubt in the NHL, the can't miss prospects, they never miss. They've always, they're always the because look at them all. And right, we saw it in that. Remember that cool interview with Crosby and Connor on opening night. Crosby was one of those guys. All those guys that come in, I don't say all of them. I mean, they're one every 5 years or so, right? But when they come into the league, when they the touted superstars, the Crosbys, the Lemieux, even dating back to when Gretzky. But just talk about that. The Austin Matthews. You can even look at Austin Matthews. He was a can't miss prospect type of kid, and he has not missed. He has been all that. Yeah, could Toronto stand to win a few more big games? Could Toronto stand to win a playoff series? Yeah. You want to really prove it long term, Austin Matthews, let's get it done one day. But you're not going to say he's not a super, he's not one of the biggest one of the biggest scoring stars in the game, Austin Matthews, for sure. I think that's what we got here, too, is a awesome matchup. You're going to be talking about this as being, here's the thing, right? You look at this card tonight, and there's, nondescript matchups in all 5. It's kind of a who cares kind of card, and to a certain extent. No disrespect to my hockey fans. I'm here previewing hockey, and not many do on any of these shows. But I'm looking at this card tonight, and I don't see any matchup that stands out but this one, and it's minus 325. And the reason it stands out is because you've got Austin Matthews with the 6 goals so far. And, okay, so Connor's got 1 goal. Does he have 1 assist? Does he have 2? I think does he have 1 or 2 assists? I think he's got whatever it is in the 2 games. He's got the goal, or 3 games. And that's what this game is all about. And, Austin Matthews was one of the can't miss prospects. When a guy comes up and they're like, this is one of going to be, and he's come through. They won they haven't won. There's no doubt. But Austin Matthews, his career is not over. Austin Matthews, he hasn't even reached the middle, the prime. I think, right? He still feels like he's on the way up. Could use some support, or that maybe they could just use some clutch play in Toronto. So let's take Toronto one more time. Yeah. Do I feel uncomfortable? Yeah. What is a comfortable price for me in this game? Maybe to even make a premium play with a puck line? Probably 275. And maybe it should be. But to me, it's about this fatigue factor right now with Chicago and just the way the season's starting, losing they're the first team to 4 games, right? And we've only been playing 6 days, so I'm going to try the Maple Leafs on a puck line. I've got 3 puck lines on the show. This can't go well. But the premiums are rounding into form, and if you take a look, and I'll do it right here real quick, just to, show where we stand here in this as we gain the data points. But over at our site, tonyspicks.com, where we have the premium picks, you go to Handicapper Leaderboard 2.0 here, take a look at NHL plays so far since the first of the year. I'm up 27-29 with my premium picks. You see the second account there, that was Morning's team. That was when Mindy and I were on the show together, making our picks together in hockey, and we were right there. Now, give credit at least 50% to Mindy, if not more. I mean, she always went first. So she had to give us the winning play, but I agreed on it enough to get over almost 41 units since the first of the year. Now, that really is just a playoff drive from last year. It doesn't include much this week. But hockey's where I do it. And where do I do it? I do it in totals mostly. So, all right. And you see there, I'm just now getting rolling yesterday with my winner there. Just we started off 1-2. We had to clean it up. All right. I'm ready to get into a little bit of college football talk. I've got a few plays ready to go. I thought 6 games. Let's get over there. Maybe one more comment here. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you guys today. Matt, thank you, Maddie. Like and smash, subscribe to our channel, Tony's Picks here on YouTube, the 40,000 subscriber powerhouse. Interesting that we're going to start with this game right now, because I got to be honest with you. I just saw the last team move that maybe you heard in the background is on this game, the first game of the card on, and now I'm happy or I'm excited. Let's do it right now. Let me give you the play first. It's under. If you want to tail Ramon, who is doing all his good work in totals, let me see what it is right now. The steam just came in, so they steamed it at 48. I was all ready to come in here, give you my free play winner in Penn State and Ohio State, the big game. Both teams are undefeated. The big noon kickoff. Both teams 6-0. All the excitement, and of course Penn State. We talked about Penn State already. They've covered they've covered. I don't know, how many is it now? 10, 11, 12? How many games in a row have they won and covered? They're just a covering machine, and we joked about it, but oh man, woo! What do we? But we talked about it, right? That Franklin said, "Hey, let's bet on our team." He didn't say it, but I mean, what it feels like is, "Hey, let's bet on our team and let's pump up our own NILs and let's all do this together." And Penn State's on a roll right now, where they're winning and covering every single game, no matter who the opponent. And now they got to come in here and take on Ohio State. This game just got hit to the under, you guys, just moments ago, and now it's down to 47. So if you wanted to tail me, now would be the time on this game anyway. I don't think Ohio State already is 1-5 to the under. The last 3 seasons, this game has gone over. And, hey, look, both teams are 6-0. Maybe it will be a spectacular game. Maybe it will be, last year was 44-31. So I can't really sell you on like, hey, this is going to be like last year. Last year was a wild scoring game. Ohio State has won 5 straight in this series. But just interesting, because this is my play, you guys, is on the under, and it did just get steamed to 47. Let me update it on the screen. When we were on the Circa show, and I don't know, I'm kind of getting a little bit of feel for what's going on now. I mean, it's something I always did. The show that I do on Sundays here on the Tony's Picks channel, just half an hour. I read the lines, I read the line move. It just takes me back to how I started in capping a little bit. and listening to a show out of Las Vegas down in San Diego where they'd go over all the lines, and it was like before the internet even, you'd write down all the lines before the internet. Imagine. So, all right, Penn State here against Ohio State. Like I said, this is the big one. This is one of the games of the year, no doubt about it. Right now, given what's going on, both teams come in with the 6-0 record, and we're on the big noon kickoff and all that. And it's definitely been kind of a higher scoring series of late. But so let me continue what I was saying about the series here. I hope I'm not making that noise. Sorry, you guys. That's why I'm reaching over for my notes. I can't keep them under my computer. That was making that noise. Okay, Penn State and Ohio State. The look ahead was Ohio State 6.5. Obviously, Penn State's made some big time inroads right now. Woody Tamora, it's so nice to see you here today. Nice to have you and nice to meet you. But so for me, that's indicates, I think, more what is going to be the type of game we're going to get between these two teams. The fact that the total here, it opened on that Circus show 44.5 and was bet up to 48.5. Now, interestingly, this was one of the games of the year that got released like in the summer. The total in that on that game of the year release was 56.5 is what they were expecting in this game in the summer, or at least a couple of 7 or 8 weeks before the season, whenever those maybe some of those games of the year lines were kind of coming out a little bit. But Penn State just on a roll. They crushed UMass last week, 63-0. It's not about that. It's just about the fact that they wanted to cover another spread for James Franklin. They rolled Northwestern, covered the number, shut out Iowa, got the money against Illinois, laying 14. They won by 17, and beat West Virginia by 23. They were favored by 21. So James Franklin, you can't dial it up, especially here. You're an underdog now, and this doesn't happen. This is not happening as frequently. In this streak, I don't think they've been underdogs at all. And it's going to be tough enough for Penn State. I mean, could the streak end here? Absolutely. But I don't know. I'll be interested to see how the betting goes actually with the public and the sharps. Thomas Lewis says this will be a thriller. He's got to go into overtime. Well, that might be bad news for me, right? If I'm giving out the over, if it goes to overtime, because you're definitely going to get a few extra points. So I'll just hope not, Thomas, because I've got the under in this one, and I like this. I like this one a lot. I like this game. I like this total, and that's where I'm going with it. Is on this under. All right, appreciate you. Appreciate that. Boston College and Georgia Tech college football action for Saturday. Boston College, they've gone over in all 6 games so far this season. Georgia Tech's gone over in 4 of their last 6 games. Now, they did not play last year, but the 2 meetings before that between these 2 teams were 71 points, 75 points. So this has been a high-scoring series between these 2 games. The total currently sitting at, it's already up to 58. Did this one get steamed too? What's going on? I'm trying to get to market here with you guys and show you how we're going to do some of these games. And I might cost myself not putting games in the system early, but that's not what the guys necessarily. Yeah, we want to give you the best price, but we also don't want to give you stale lines come Saturday, right? Because we know a lot of people that aren't necessarily betting them, and there's plenty of games to choose from. But I got to update this right now because this one's looks like it's already gone up to me. Let me hit the Steam button over here and see if it got Steam to the over. If you know where I'm going over in this game. No, I don't think it's got necessarily too much widely reported Steam anyway. Now, this one also had a look ahead line last week that was much lower, and everyone's onto this situation a little bit with these two teams. I'm not earth shattering handicapper here telling you that this is going to be a high scoring game. But I think, some of the clues there might be a little bit obvious, and maybe that's why say sharps, early bettors, whoever they are, right? Joe, the guys who care are betting early for the most part. I don't know. Maybe somebody's rolling into work and just clicking buttons on their computer, make sure they think they're getting the best lines. But usually people betting this early, feeling like they want to get out to an edge here. Like I said, and not to BC being 6-0 to the over thus far obviously helps. I mean, they went over against Army last week. They're coming off a bye, but they went over against Army 27-24. They went over against UVA 27-24. Both those were wins, although they didn't cover against the Cavs. But the Louisville game, they got blown out. 84 points in that one, 60 points in the FSU game. Remember, they lost that one by just a couple of points, did Boston College, against FSU, who, right now they're in the playoff, right? Just squeaked by Holy Cross, 31-28, but it went over 52.5. And anyway, it's a long streak. It goes back even further, I think, right now for Boston College, even dating back to last year. They're on a massive over streak currently. Dating back to last season. Georgia Tech's gone over, like I said, just half their, just 3-3 to the over, but they did go coming off the upset win, of course, against Miami. They're also coming in off of a bye, but they were the one. Remember, they took advantage of that crazy play against Miami. Want to say hello to T Money checking in. Nice to see you. He doesn't like the college card, and I'm like going crazy, thinking I love it. But spoiler alert, here's a total. I'm going over here, Boston College and Georgia Tech. I've already lost a point by sitting here. Well, I entered, to be fair, I did type in the lines on these college games last night as I was preparing the show, but I've lost a point somewhere in there overnight. It says 57 on my notes here, and now I'm at 58 and a half, 57 and a half, up to 58 and a half. And I'm going over in this one. I don't know what you might equate, the equal game to. I mean, so far you had Georgia Tech, the season opener against Louisville, 73 points. Game against South Carolina had 61 points. And game against Ole Miss had 71 points. Now, you notice those are all pretty decent teams here. And, well, I think, both teams here are at .500, and Boston College just 2-4 against the spread. But I've got to go over. This is series history going over. Ray's going on Georgia Tech. Thomas is backing up the truck here on Tech, it sounds like. And I'm still feeling out the side, I'd say, at this point. But over is my play in this one. I'm going to look at Baylor and Cincinnati. A couple of disappointments here for sure. At this point, we're hoping for more from these teams. Certainly, definitely a big disappointment here with both teams coming in with a 2-4 record thus far. Cincinnati 4-2 to the over thus far. They've lost 4 straight now, both straight up and against the spread. For Baylor, right now they are 2-4 straight up, as I said, but 1-4-1 against the spread thus far. Now this total currently sits at 52, and it's juiced up a little bit here to the over. But this one on the Circa show opened 45.5 and was immediately bet up to 50.5. Now, I don't know if that was just another mispricing by these guys. They take such pride. Like that's why I do it on that show. Like these guys take pride. Oh, we take the biggest limits, and well, they got slammed on this one pretty good. And look, I mean, I think it could go over. I think there's room to breathe in this total. Now, I don't know if it's going to go up any higher than this. Let me see. Let me just at least check what we've seen so far in the market move. I mean, that's what I had basing this on. In fact, I'm seeing two-way action. It would seem to me, looking at the percentages here, the betting splits, I don't know if one side's any more sharp than the other. And quite frankly, maybe it's even a little bit too high here. I don't know if I could give out a premium necessarily, but I like the over in this game. I mean, my numbers are right here in the mid 50s, so maybe it's not premium worthy. And I'm not saying that we missed any value on 45.5 because that seems like an unrealistic number. And this is definitely the high number at this point, but it seems like it's only going up. Now, I don't know if it's going to go up a lot more, but we don't have any, head-to-head match. With this being a new conference matchup, we don't have any, series history to go off of here necessarily. But with Cincinnati at home, that's kind of, I think, what kind of has me steering in that direction a little bit towards the over. Just that, Baylor's had obviously some big-time questions defensively to a certain extent this season compared to last year. I mean, just giving up the 39 points to Texas Tech this 2 weeks ago. They're in off a bye, but remember they lost that game 39-14, and they were in that wild one with UCF that had 71 points. Now they had trouble scoring against Texas, but who wouldn't? And against Utah, they didn't do very well either. But against Texas State, now Cincinnati's probably better than Texas State, but still kind of the game against Texas State, the season opener, at 73 points. So I'm gonna be on the over in this one. Cincinnati just played BYU a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago now. That one had 62 points. So I'm gonna end up being on the over here with Baylor and Cincinnati. And Thomas says they didn't look good in that game. And yeah, no, they didn't. No, they did not. They scored just 10 points at home against Iowa State. So, but I'm taking the over here at 52. That's just the way it's going to be. They definitely got to turn it around a little bit though offensively. All right. Oh, Thomas here says he's on Baylor here, it looks like, actually. And I'm not ready to commit just yet. I like the total. And I would say that this is a borderline for me premium. Yeah. Has it ended up going maybe a little bit too high here? Yeah, maybe just a little bit. Doesn't necessarily, wouldn't be a premium necessarily by Saturday, but okay. But right now, I'll take the over. Air Force at Navy free college football selection. This one's for Saturday. And we have, well, what can you say? We got Service Academy matchup and the try showdown for the Commander's trophy, Commander-in-Chief trophy with Air Force and Navy's matchup here. And hey, pretty easy, you guys. It says Air Force. It says Navy. We're going under. We're going under every time. We're never stopping taking under. And okay, is it square? I don't know. Is it square? The total here is 37.5, but I'm not saying that total hasn't been, higher. It just seems to be going down. Now, when we were on the show, the look-ahead line was 41.5. Before the last week's games, and it opened 39.5 on the show that we were on just yesterday, not 21 hours ago, and it's all the way down here to 37.5. Service Academy games are just on a massive run of unders, no matter what. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. No matter how low they're putting these totals, they're just always going under when not only Air Force, not only Navy, but Army as well. Whenever the teams are meeting, it's a massive chance it goes under. It's all based on the type of play that we see from both teams. Thank you, Team Money. Thomas saying Air Force all day in this one. He likes Air Force laying this big number on the road. I love these matchups. I mean, I love Army Navy, don't get me wrong, but I like this one too. I like Service Academy games. And they get over in 2.5 hours. That's why we bet under. And I'm sure it'll be, kind of the same exact thing here. This one actually has gone under in 3 straight right now. And just 3 out of the last, under in 3 straight and 4 out of the last 6. Last season's game was 13-10. Navy got the money there. They were getting 14 on that day in Colorado Springs. And Air Force has won 3 straight in the series. But like I said, Navy got the money last season. And so the game last year, 23 points. The year before that, 26 points. And that's the way I'm going here as well. I'm going under 37.5. It's not just these 2 teams, like I said, but whenever the service academies are meeting, they're just on a massive run of unders. The clock continues to run, especially now, right? The clock continues to run, especially with these two teams. And it's not expected to be a close game. Oh, I don't know. I think I kind of like Thomas's play right now. I just didn't want to. I probably should have tried a side here because I'm giving out a bunch of totals, but these are our best plays. We're trying to get ahead of these totals. I want to give you some good winning plays early in the week to get ahead of these. I'm telling you, I think the moves that I'm going to give you right now, this one notwithstanding, but it still could go down. It's only going down. Even if you don't like my play, you might have a 3-point middle by the time we get to the end of the week on my totals. So I'm giving out totals today here on the show, and hey, stack me up. Hi, Dre. Thank you. Nice to see you. I'm on the under. You can't talk me off of this one. A Service Academy under. And it'll be, I'm not the first guy. I'm not some, savant coming on here until you take a Service Academy under. Oh, be some contrarian out there might tell you the same, tell you the opposite, but not for me. 24-10 says Thomas. Yeah, close for comfort, but hey, those are the ones we win. The two close for comfort games, those are the ones we win. How about right? I did complain. Let me take this off. I think we're done with this game because I want to talk about something else. All right. They said take the logo off so you're not on the video talking about something else. So, yeah, I know I complained about a bad beat going against me yesterday with that Commanders game because it should have went over and I lost my overs. But also in the bad beat department, came on Saturday. Oh God, lost my train of thought, you guys. All right, darn it. I had a great point. I had a great point to make for once. No, Thomas, I'm fine with it. I like Air Force right now with you. Gosh, what was I going to say? I was just going to talk about. Okay, so I did get lucky in another NFL game. Okay, I remember now. Okay, I'm complaining about the Washington game that should have been an over against Atlanta. Atlanta 3 trips to the red zone in the fourth quarter or whatever it was. They possessed the ball, 13 of the 15 minutes and couldn't score, and it couldn't get over 40. But the under in the London game where they ended up just kicking a field goal there instead of needing they didn't need a touchdown. I mean, they were protecting a lead, but the Titans kicked a field goal. They were down. That's what it was. The Titans were down. They're like, well, we need a field goal anyways. On 4th down, might as well kick the field goal and then try the onside kick. So maybe a little bit of lucky there, but that's why I'm on top of the leaderboards because I am the luckiest handicapper of all these. So that's the other thing when you get my picks, you get the luck factor because I'm always the guy who lucks out and gets the when everybody's at the party wondering what happened and everybody looks at me and they're you just got lucky again. Everybody's at the watch party. I'm the guy that was on that contrarian side. Ramon, you're so lucky. Yep. You got to have the luck factor. All right. A few more here. Hope you like totals. I love totals. I didn't always start out that way years and years and years ago. Central Florida at Oklahoma, free college football pick for Saturday, October 21st. And this one, Oklahoma, 19-point favorite. Hello, OU. Total here is 63. First meeting between these two now with Central Florida here in the conference. Oklahoma, of course, coming in undefeated, not only straight up, but against the spread as well. Central Florida, a 3-3 record, but 2-4 against the spread. And I think it is interesting to note that these two teams, yeah, they are combined 9-3 to the over so far this season. Now, these two teams, new conference foes, if you will.
Steam play.
Let's see here, 389 and 390. So that certainly brings a little bit of interesting tidbit, just because UCF here now in this conference, it hasn't been good so far. Looks like they bit off more than they can chew to a certain extent. I mean, you can't even get it covers against. Yeah, I mean, they're good teams, but they lost by 29 at Kansas, and that was a near pick. They were favored in that game, right? They lost to Baylor at home as a favorite. They lost at Kansas State by 2 touchdowns. It's a 1 touchdown underdog. So it hasn't worked out really so far for Central Florida. But you know what? This is what you wanted. This is what you asked for. And right now they're on what can you say? Just kind of a bad spread run. The only covers they have this year were home covers. Central Florida against Villanova in an FCS matchup, and they covered against Kent. They beat up Kent, one of the worst teams in the country at the time. Maybe they've improved, but they beat Kent by 50 points as a 35.5 point favorite. And as for OU right now, I mean, what can you say? I mean, they're just on a big time roll. If there any teams being overlooked, right? Gamblers know, right? Gamblers know. And right now, I mean, it's all good on with Oklahoma getting these numbers. And I probably don't have a problem with it at this point. At minus 19, it opened 18.5, has gone as low as 17, but now we are at 19. I mean, that I don't know if I can, I'm not on the side yet at this point. I don't know if I can even stand much more pressure at this point to try to get on this Oklahoma side. Everyone's going to know they know already. You guys know probably, and I know, but obviously they've covered every game, so far this season, as I said, and that's going to stand out in everybody's mind, I'm sure, by the time we get around rolling here. Verner says, just wait. Maybe Central Florida can get a field goal or something like that. Maybe Thomas says he's got the no diggity, no doubt on this one. But Oklahoma just a total moneymaker here. And look, I mean, I know I came on saying 9-3 to the over, but I just have big time concerns about Central Florida moving forward against these type of matchups right now in conference on the road against the elite teams of the conference. Like I said, we haven't even seen. We saw them against Kansas and Kansas State. Those games are tough enough, and they got walloped. So they did give up big points, and maybe they will here again. I'm going under. I'm going under in this game, under because 63. I think it's kind of baked into the cake here. Now, last game was the game at KU for Central Florida, and they're playing back-to-back road games. They did have a bye last week, but 73 points. They gave up 51. That's the most, they've given up in quite a while. So they've got to clean that up. But when you're going into conference here, giving up massive points, you got to stop some. You got to stop some. It's hard. You're not going to stop Oklahoma right now for Central Florida the way things are going. I do think right now I would lean OU, but I don't think, to me it's more like let's see, if it's 19, right? So you're looking at 41 to 21 basically is the final score there if you look at it like that. And I'm not sure about Central Florida getting 3 touchdowns. Are you guys? Doesn't seem like it. So, I might even be willing to give it to Oklahoma. 49 to 14. That's too high. Maybe that's too high. That'd be a premium on Oklahoma. But 41 to 21. How about 45 to 17? No, 41 to 17. 41 to 17. All right. Thomas says if you play it, you got to lay it. And you can do that right now. And I don't know if I can get a better price. If I'm going to lay it, I might want to do it now on the show here. But I'm taking under as my play. And I think that, let me see what the line movement. Did I recite the line movement here? Oh, it's only gone. It opened at 59.5 on the show we did yesterday. Had moved all the way to 64.5 and has since been bet back down to 63. And I believe it may go lower than this. But I think it'll be sharps that do that. I don't know if the public's going to necessarily do it here. I like under in this game, Central Florida and OU. One more for me here, Memphis at UAB. Free college football selection. This one's for Saturday, October 21st. Well, I've, been taking a little bit of heat in the chat on talking about UAB a couple of times on the air this year. But look, like I said, I'm on UAB moving forward. I didn't come, I wasn't on here saying that I think UAB's bowl game bound, or I just was saying I think you're getting value with UAB. I think they're, a team and a program that's kind of being I don't even know if overlooked is the right word. Because they're not very good. They're 2-5 right now, but they're 2-5 straight up. They're 4-3 against the spread. That's what I'm talking. That's the type of bets I'm looking to make on, sometimes on teams. And you're going up against Memphis here. Memphis is having a pretty good season again. They're looking pretty good. They're 4-2. They're 4-1 against the spread. Memphis wins and doesn't cover. UAB doesn't win and they cover. These are kind of like the home dog situations that you kind of look for now. I'm not quite ready to go there just yet. I'm going to do 6 games and 6 totals here right now. I am, my lean is actually to Memphis because of my numbers. And my number is over this number. That's the problem I'm having because I am pro UAB, and the trending of this game says UAB. There will be some NBA doubles. Stay tuned. I've been taking my notes here. I'm seeing the totals. I want to talk about it so bad because I want to get on these moves before they go too far. So just stay tuned. And Ferner says leaning Memphis, but I don't know what that autocorrect there or something, but Thomas says he feels like it is a square move here, right? Yeah, maybe, no, definitely, right? Like I said, so Memphis 4-2 straight up, 4-1 against the spread, right? They're not covering anything. Alabama, Birmingham, 2-5 straight up, 4-3 against the spread. They're totally overachieving. They're not totally, but I mean they're exceeding gamblers' expectations. Memphis is 4-2 to the over so far this season. They just let's see them played Tulane, of course, and lost 31-21 as a 4-point dog. That game did go under. They played Boise. That one went over. They played at Missouri. That one went over. And they played Navy, and that one went for 52 points. Remember that one. So Memphis, scoring points, no doubt about it. The game against Tulane, that was their worst game, the 31-21 loss. But I like the over here. UAB has no conscience when it comes to chucking the football right now, and Memphis is putting up big points. So that's the way Trent Dilfer's running it. I know that offensive staff, they're all about, up tempo. They're doing what they can with the situation. So some of these covers for them, they beat USF. We had them. They lost to UTSA. Now we weren't on them there in that one. The Tulane game, Memphis covered on the road, getting 22.5 points. They lost by a 35-23 count. They played at Georgia, getting almost 40. They lost by 4 touchdowns. They covered that one. So it's a good situation for them. But I've got over here 63. Got to give it out as a free play because let me tell you, I mean, the total, the sharps or whoever, the early bettors, this has been a move to the over, no doubt about it. Let's see, here it is. They opened 59.5. When we were on the show, here it is. Okay, I'm sorry. The look ahead, there was a look ahead of 59.5. It opened 64.5 yesterday when we were on that show, went down here to 63. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit wrong on this one as far as where the total might be headed. Maybe you can stick around here a little bit for this one, and maybe it's not a fast rising mover, but I'm giving it out now. I feel like it should be an over. UAB to me, they're not going to be able to, they're going to give it up. They might be able to get something done offensively here, even though Memphis has been pretty decent. And I would imagine UAB could probably stay within this. But I wish, why isn't it 7? And why isn't it a little bit higher? I was ready to take UAB here
Final
plus a touchdown, and it came 5. So maybe those expert bettors are kind of feeling it the way I do. I want to find a way to get on UAB, but I just wanted to get at least off of a dead number of 5 here. I'm going to give the total over here as the play. Over 63, and we'll just revisit it later. I mean, I wouldn't think there'd be any reason to get, UAB public money. But again, this is not a, blockbuster tilt that's going to attract huge money that maybe, hey, any line can go up with just a few bombs here and there. Maybe I'll just have to wait it out. But we're giving out the show, giving out the over here on the show anyways. The winning team in this series just goes to show you. Now, last year, there was only 55 points. I say only. It went under. That's why. But Memphis won 46 to – oh, no, I'm sorry. This is a new conference game, right? Because of the yeah, okay. Yeah, this is a new conference game because of the switching a little bit. So, yeah, these teams haven't met in a long time, actually. Let me throw that out. Throw that right out the window. And just take the over here in this one. That's it for me. All right. Thanks, everybody. great to spend. Oh, we got to do our little basketball roundup, right? Real quick. We'll take a look. And now remember, the lines were just coming out as I went on the air, but we've done pretty well on these actually. Maybe the spontaneity of it has been what's been the key to success, and I think that's why at least 3 dozen of you stuck around here for this NBA, because we are seem to be hitting these, and I'm not doing any premiums right now, and I gotta look at the lines here and kind of handicap with my numbers on the fly, but this is part of the fun of it here. All right. Atlanta. Let me see. I'm probably going to give out, since we don't have any premium, I'm just give out a lot of plays. I'm going to give out a lot of, and these are preseason plays, right? Should be just throwing down, not one game at all. I mean, this is a landscape type of situation, right? You're just spreading. If you want to bet some basketball, I'm putting, my whole whatever set aside for NBA preseason, and we're just going to mix it up here on a bunch of plays. And let me call the lines up because I don't even know where they're headed. But I do have some plays. All right. Oh boy, Indiana's up to 4. They were -2 on the over on the earliest line. I did see that line. Get your pencil right. This is the moment. This is the moment. This is my time to shine, Thomas. Okay, here we go. These are totally on the move, but I'm ready to do it. Double plays here, even. Give me Indiana -4 here against Atlanta, and also we're going to go over 226. These have already gone against me. These were plays that I were looking to make, and they've already been hit actually as we were on the air. And I saw it. That was when you saw me like look over here, and I'm making some notes, and I've already missed on some points. But I'm here with you guys. Not about me betting some cheap preseason games. I'm not worried about kind of making any money off of off of these. We want to have some fun with preseason. Want to enjoy some basketball, and we'd like to make a little money if we can. So let's see if I can nail these. All right, we have not done well on these international teams. We started off hot, and since we've missed a few, no doubt about it. But in the game between Renana Maccabi and Cleveland, now this is not the famous Maccabi Tel Aviv team, right? But still here. Let's see. I want to take this international team here against Cleveland. They are plus 34. The international teams have been getting blown out and not been covering. Let me make sure here, but I'm going to take them here in this one, and also go over here, maybe more confidently, over 221.5 in this one between Renana Maccabi and Cleveland Cavaliers. Oh, I've never heard of those guys, Cleveland Cavaliers. So 2 plays in that one as well. How about that? All right. Philadelphia and Brooklyn here. We've already seen a little bit of movement here. Brooklyn has moved all the way to a 3.5 point favorite. They'll probably, from what I've heard about Philadelphia's plans tonight, probably no value left in Brooklyn. This has been a total shift in the line. I do like this one over though, between Philly and Brooklyn, even though it does sound like Philly's got players out. It feels like Philly, looking at the way Brooklyn's favored by 3.5, 223 against Philadelphia. Just having a look at the line, I haven't seen any of the personnel. I knew what Philadelphia was up to, so it looks like they will be in a bad situation tonight. Take Brooklyn, but take the over. Brooklyn and over. I guess lay 3.5. I'm just giving you everything I got. These aren't, Houston is a 4.5-point favorite here against San Antonio. The total 228.5. Even though my policy on this show is to give a play out on every game, that's not including NBA preseason. I don't have. You got to cut me a little bit of slack here. I'm not. I don't have anything on this one. Uh, Rockets and Spurs. Not sure what the. I think I'm not sure the Spurs plans here in this one. All right. New Zealand Breakers are going to be taking on Utah tonight. In this one, I've got the over right now in this for sure. What is it now? 221. We're going over. New Zealand against Utah. You got to figure right now the New Zealand's having some problems on this trip defensively with some of these teams. And tonight, I'm sure that'll be the case. The spread's 37.5. And probably come right about there, I would imagine. Like I said, it looks like these international teams have been getting blown out a little bit more than, again, some of these teams are here for the first time as well. Portland and Phoenix. Here, I've got the over. One more over in this one. We've hit these overs pretty good. In fact, how about this for a handicap, you guys? Over in every game except Houston and San Antonio. No play. So you want the easy handicap. You don't even have to write it down. And Chad's okay. Thank you, Chad. We're gonna write down. And pleasure to meet you. I'm not sure. Have we met? Have you been here making a play? And if you are to make your first play in NBA preseason game, I'm impressed. I'm gonna write your name down here. Chad takes Houston. Yeah, that's what I think, Ferner. So I'm sure Chad on it too as well. He said -4. In fact, I see it -4.5. So I don't have anything in that game. We're going to go with Chad. Chad is our new visitor of the day is Chad Colvin. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you, Chad. Thank you very much. What a pleasure to have you here. And of course, I'm pro Rockets right now, of course, here, and hopefully that does work out. Not talking about tonight. I'm talking about this season. I'm pro Rockets. I hope they continue to build this. I like this. I like this team a lot. Ferner gives us the under. So I'll write Ferner under here. Okay, you guys gave us that one. I didn't. I liked every game, but that one. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate you so much for joining me here on the Morning Steam. Your first look at all the games here for today. 2.5 hours of me talking. So hopefully that's okay. And I'll catch you back here tomorrow with more Morning Steam. We'll talk Major League Baseball. We'll talk more college football. We'll talk NHL. And, I think we even got some Tuesday night football I saw on the card tomorrow. What are the? Oh boy, I wanted to peek those games to you tomorrow. Middle against Liberty, WKU against Jacksonville, and Southern Miss and South Alabama. That sounds like money right there. Appreciate you guys in the chat, and we'll catch you tomorrow with more Morning Steam.